Walking off the football field for the last time was a sobering experience. My legs felt weaker than they ever had, so much so that I had to take a seat in the end zone. Through watery eyes, I found that my best friends were sitting to my left and my right. We all gazed at the field one last time through our face masks before saying goodbye to a sport that had given us so much. This was the first moment in my life where I realized the fleeting existence of the good things in life and the bittersweetness of losing something that you love so much. I'm sure you didn't expect to hear a motivational speech that starts with a story about losing, but I played for the Lake Creek Lions and that's what we did, so you get to hear about it. The day was November 6th, the final game of our senior season, and it was cold. The kind of cold where you get hit and it just jars you to your bones. But I didn't feel the pain. My mind was so flooded over with adrenaline. I wanted to win this football game more than anything in the world. With my family, friends, and peers in the stands, it was time to show everyone in our community that we could beat our rival school. After 48 minutes of a closely fought game, we hadn't accomplished what we set out to do. The scoreboard showed a devastating 42-35 loss, and I was stunned. Everyone is used to seeing the movies where the underdog comes out on top after the scrap in a shining moment of victory, but this moment was not one of those. After all the hard work and encouragement that the team captains put in, we thought we could pull it out, but fate had another plan in mind. Although I was in a daze following the final buzzer, I still remember what my coach had said to me and my teammates following the game. He was always a tough coach, yelling at us for false starts and watching our grades like a hawk. But in this moment, his tone softened and his stature didn't seem so intimidating. As we all stood huddled around, he said something to us that I'll never forget. He repeated to us the quote of my senior class for the last time. "I told you," he said. "I told you were going to wish you had 5 more minutes." Throughout the season, I tended to blow off this bit of wisdom because it seemed like the end of the season was miles down the road. But in the moment, it always feels like it'll never end. But when the end of something does come, it's always a blindside hit. We always teased each other about the quote, but it wasn't until the last time that I heard it that the gravity of his words really started to sink in. I didn't always like the sled pulls of the off-season and the midnight cramps after the games. Many days I spent with soreness from lifting heavy weights and doing hitting drills. I would come home exhausted with just enough energy to eat before collapsing into bed. But as I look back on these memories, I think of all the unforgettable times. I'll never forget running 100-yard dashes before the sun came up with other team captains. I'll never forget the taste of protein powder mixed with school tap water and cracking jokes before football games. I found that I had acquired priceless memories throughout my high school football career. The only shame was that I didn't fully appreciate the significance of these moments until it was over. Reflecting on that cold November night, I began to understand the importance of savoring the current moment. I was lucky to have learned this lesson before my senior year was over. I took advantage of the time that I had left. I spent time volunteering at church, I coached for Powder Puff, and I got a lot closer to people I'd never talked to before. Moving forward, I look for the silver lining in every situation, show more gratitude for what I have, and do my best to keep an open mind. When friends ask me to hang out, I'll shrug off the fatigue of the day and do my best to spend some time. I do my best to call my mom when I get a chance, even when she talks about sewing. And even during the late night study sessions, I can appreciate the hard work I'm putting in as I work towards my dreams. As humans experiencing new things, it can be uncomfortable. But moving forward, we must all embrace new experiences, take it all in, and have an open mind. I encourage you all to look around and realize that you will not be sitting in these seats again, and a lot of these people you'll never see or hear from again. So tell those you love how you feel, take it all in, and never forget the friends you make along the way, because you might just wish that you had 5 more minutes.